Yeah, hi guys. In this video, I'm going to explain event streams. How event stream is helpful in connecting and processing live events and send them to the destination sources like event house. To explain this, I'm taking PizzaBox as an example. Here you can see the tagline: delivering hot pizzas on time every time. On time every time is a big challenge. On every minute they need to be on top. So here you can see the details like they have 7 branches, 40 riders, and they delivering 500 orders every day across the city. So basically for this, I'm taking 4 source tables for this example. Like first one is the orders. Orders is like whenever a customer is placed an order through a app or a website, it generates an rows like basically one order ready for each row kind of thing. And the second one is order status. Order status is like it updates the what is the status of the order, like basically whether it is under cooking or is under ready to pick or is it delivered kind of thing. And third one is riders. Basically riders have the rider app. Basically the what the app does is like it automatically sends the driver's location and the status of the rider like every 1 minute, like basically it sends continuously every 1 minute like the live location of the rider, so that we can track of where the rider is in. The fourth one is kitchen, like basically it updates the sensor data every 1 minute, like what's the temperature of the oven, what's the temperature of the fridge, etc, kind of sensor details. Here we have the orders, order status, riders, and kitchen. But we have two types in it. Like one is continuous and other is discrete. Here continuous means riders and kitchen, where the data get updated every 1 minute continuously. Like, and the other one is discrete. Discrete is like whenever any event comes, then only it updates. Like basically when the customer places an order, then only it gets updated and created data. This is called discrete events. To understand this project more clearly, I'm going to show you the architecture of the project so that you can understand it more clearly. Here is our architecture for our PizzaBox, how we can do this. Like I will show you how exactly we do is like basically we are just focusing on these things currently in this example. So first of all, we focus on getting the data from the source and source to the event stream and event stream to the event house. So we are focusing on these things, how this event stream helping us to connect, like event house helping us to connect the Azure Event Hub and these two event house. Let's get into the example. Okay, go to the Fabric. So here I already created PizzaBox workspace. So now we need to create a event house. Like first of all, we need to create the event house, the source where we need to store our data. So basically here I'm setting as like PizzaBox event house. Here. So here you can see basically PizzaBox event house is created. Now go back to the workspace. Okay, now we need to create the event stream, our main thing. Okay, I will get as PizzaBox. Yes, event stream. Okay, our event stream is created. Now we need to connect to the sources. Basically, our source for this example is Azure Event Hub. So search for here, it is Azure Event Hub. So we need to create a new connection. So before going to into this, I will show you how these things looks in, like how these things are in Azure Event Hub. To show just a quick overview of these things. So go to the portal azure.com. So here my sources are in this particular namespace. Like basically here this is our namespace, Azure Event Hub namespace, and these are the Azure like event hubs. These are the 5, but currently we are using only the 4. And the shared access key, like basically our primary key is located here, the primary key. So go back here and create the put the source name, like the event source name here, or like here it is PizzaBox source. The first table name is you can see here I am taking as orders table, so put it as our event hub base name as orders. And now here the shared access key, basically shared access key name is policy name is like here root manager shared access key, we need to put it. And the primary key, basically this is our primary key. Connect. Yeah, I'm saving it just. Yeah, here now our connection is created. Now here we can change the source name, like here I will created orders, so I put it as a orders hub. Next. Okay, here we connected one source and we can add the other sources also. Yeah, here we connected all the 4 sources and now we need to push them to the destination table. So how we can connect is like basically here we can see quick preview of it, like how the tables and the columns are there. Here you can see all the 4 sources, like here we have the column called event. So here you can see all, for all those 4 sources we have the event column, and it shows like for each source it has a specific name in it, so that we, with the help of this thing we can filter out which table it is, like which source it is, to push them to the destination table. So here we can normally we can perform a lot of transformation steps, like basically we have in Power Query, if you are coming from the Power BI. So here we creating a filter so that we can identify which source it is. First of all, we're creating orders filter. Select the field we want to filter, equals to, for orders it is like orders, order placed. Yeah, we created the filter. So next step is like we need to connect to the event house. So here the event house name we can put as orders destination. Next event house, we already created the PizzaBox event house, the cake will be like this only. Like here we have two options. Like if you create a specific table already in the event house, then we can directly connect it from here. Like otherwise we can directly create it from here. So like put its name as the orders and done and save. So it is created. So one more table. Like first of all, I will show you what is direct injection here. Directly we can connect to the event house. If we connect to the event house without any pre-processing, so we can directly push the data into the event house, so that without any, like basically we are not any, if there is only single source kind of things scenarios, then we can directly select the direct injection mode, so that it can inject the data bit fastly. For this purpose, we need to put the filter because we have different sources here. Here I am intentionally making one more mistake so that you can understand why I am doing like that. I will tell you in one more minute. Here. Say. So just to show you one example here, like I will publish and show you here some messy will create here. So it is loading the data. One moment. Okay, now it is loaded. Now I will show you like mistake I did it to understand like very clearly. Basically here what we did is we connected to the source and filtered with the help of the event column, so that whatever the specific rows, like basically what happens, all these things, four sources are connected to the specific one event stream and then separated using these filters. How we separating it? Basically using this event column based on the specific name in that event, like to divide all these four. But like basically it is connected to destination. This is fine until now, but here if you can see, like for the kitchen source, like for kitchen table, we can see there is some matrix values, all these things are there. For orders, some different columns are there. But when we go to the destination table, like the final destination to, it is connected to the event house. So here you can see these starting columns are fine, but when we scroll last, here you can see status, act matrix, these are all are coming from the kitchen table. Why? Because, can you guess it? Why? Because we are just filtering based on the rows, but not on the column schema. We are just like basically what the event stream is do is like we merges all the sources, and based on the filters what we apply or the schemas, it will divide them to the specific tables based on our conditions. But here we specifically mentioned the filter only, not the schema. Basically the columns which are here, basically if you look into this orders table, here you can see these are empty, but because there is no specific, like we are filtering based on rows, but these are the extra columns, unnecessary columns we are adding in it. So here you now you can understand what's the problem here. So to resolve this thing, the Fabric team, the RTI team added one more feature called schema, where we need to turn on this. Currently it is in preview. This is called multi-schema interfacing. Like basically what it does is it identifies specific schema, like create specific schema for each sources automatically to the how many sources. Like basically here we have four sources, it will create a unique source for all those four although basically all those four sources. So now if we go back 1 minute, I will clear all those things and we can start it back. Here we turn on the multi-schema interfacing, so that how it will help us is like go back to this and click on edit. And now if you check it, like we have one more option now is schema. We can look into what, like basically it creates a separate schema for each sources. So we can identify, we can connect to those schemas. Wait a minute, like it just loading. Yeah, it is loaded. Yeah, basically now you can see it has different schemas for different sources. This one is for previously we measured all those things into one table, so it is created like that. But you can see here for riders of one schema, this thing like it created one unique schema for each one. It is loaded again. Yeah. Here you can see it is created one schema for each source. This one is for previously we measured all those things, so it is created like that. But here you can see now we can, what we can do is we can filter it by row and filter it by the schema, so that we can get the correct table to the destination. So here go click on filter, quickly update all the things, order filters. Here you can see it has the name in it, which schema it is. Like here we need to select the order sub. Now we can select this event to filter out the only event rows, like order rows. Here for orders it is order placed. Now connect to the destination. That is basically orders destination. Here if you click on the schema, here you can see what are the columns are there in this particular schema to identify. Like basically it is auto connected. Here it is our PizzaBox event house. Then we need to create a table that is currently it is in bronze, so I'm putting a name called a raw orders. So it is done. Save. Now refresh and see like is it working correctly as we think. Now you can see that data is loaded. Now here you can see there is no unnecessary columns in it and unnecessary rows in it. So here you can see, so it filter out both the schema and the rows with the help of this orders filter. Now we can quickly update to the other tables also. Look for the last table, like we can directly create it in the event house. Then we can connect to the event stream here, so that we can see both the ways. Here I'm publishing it. Basically here we can see all those three sources are connected and connect, like basically three sources are created and connected to the destination. And for the fourth one we directly going to the event house and we can create it there. Here go to the query set, query set. Yeah, here just rename this tab name like a bronze table, and here we will create the riders table here. Basically here you can see we name it as a raw riders and specifically mention these tables and what are the data types in it. Here you can see we already loaded these 3 tables. Now we are creating the raw riders. Here you can see this particular raw riders table is created, but there will be no data in it because there is no source is connected. To check that, raw riders and take any 10 rows in it, run it, basically nothing in it, or we can just count the number of rows in it, basically 0 because we are not connected. So now we can go to the event stream and click on edit. Now click on transform step, filter, and connect to the event stream. PizzaBox, Eventhouse. Now instead of creating here, we can just select the table we created just now. Like here we created the raw data, so we directly connect to that one and publish. Now here it is loading, and go back to those tables, and here you can see all these four are created. Now if you want to check the others also, just orders, what are the columns in it. Take 10, run it. Now here you can see what are, like here it will show all these columns here. Now here you can see only columns which are there in that specific source only. Here it is created, not the unnecessary columns or unnecessary rows, because we applied the filters and also the schema using the multi-schema interface. Thank you. That's all for the video. Bye.